Most traders do not lose patience because nothing is happening. They lose patience because something is almost happening. The chart starts to move, the market gives a small reaction, and the trader sees a possible idea forming. Very quickly, the mind starts building a story around it. Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the move. Maybe I should not miss it. Maybe this is good enough. But this is where the problem begins. An A+ setup is not supposed to appear every time we feel ready to trade. It is not supposed to show up just because we opened the chart, waited 1 hour, watched one session, or spent the whole morning looking for an opportunity. A+ setups are rare because quality is rare. If every situation starts looking tradable, the problem may not be the market. The problem may be that the trader's standard is slowly getting lower. Trading discipline is not tested only when there is no opportunity at all. The real test comes when something looks close enough to tempt you, but not clean enough to deserve your risk. That is where patience begins. Not when the chart is empty, but when the chart almost gives you what you want. The most dangerous trades are not always the obvious bad trades. Obvious bad trades are easier to reject because you look at them, you know they do not fit, and you move on. The real danger is the trade that is almost good, almost clear, almost ready, almost strong enough, almost matching the plan. Because it is close, the trader starts helping it. He fills in the missing pieces with hope. He tells himself the idea is good enough. He starts focusing on the parts that support the trade and ignoring the parts that create doubt. This is not always bad analysis. Sometimes it is impatience pretending to be analysis. The trader does not want to wait anymore, so the mind starts making the setup look better than it really is. That is why almost good can be so expensive. It gives the trader enough logic to enter, but not enough quality to trust the decision. An A+ setup does not need the trader to force the story. It does not need emotional support, excuses, or extra imagination. It stands on its own, and even then, it can still fail. A+ does not mean guaranteed. A+ means the trade was worth taking before you knew the result. Almost good is different. Almost good usually means the trader wanted action more than he wanted quality. The longer a trader waits, the easier it becomes to lower the standard. At the beginning, the plan is clear. The trader says, I will only take the best setups. I will wait. I will be patient. But after some time, patience starts to feel different. Waiting starts to feel like wasted time. No trade starts to feel like failure. The trader begins to think, I have been watching for so long. I cannot just do nothing. But the market does not care how long we waited. Waiting time does not create setup quality. Just because you spent 2 hours watching the chart does not mean the next situation deserves your money. Just because you missed one move does not mean the next move is better. Just because you are tired of waiting does not mean the trade is ready. This is one of the hardest parts of trading because the mind wants a reward for waiting. But the market does not pay us for time spent watching. The market only gives opportunity when conditions are right, and sometimes the best thing a trader can do after waiting is still nothing. That feels uncomfortable, but that discomfort is part of the job. If waiting makes you lower your standard, then waiting did not build discipline. It slowly turned into pressure. And once pressure enters the decision, the trader is no longer waiting for A+. He is waiting for permission to click. An A+ setup is not only about the market, it is also about the trader. The same chart can lead to 2 completely different decisions depending on the state of the person watching it. If the trader is calm, patient, and clear, he has a much better chance to follow the plan. If the trader is frustrated, tired, emotional, or trying to recover from a loss, the same situation can become dangerous. Many traders ask, is the setup good? But they do not ask, am I in the right state to trade this setup? Sometimes that second question matters even more. A trader can take a decent idea and turn it into a bad trade through emotional execution. He can enter too early because he does not want to miss it. He can exit too early because he cannot handle the uncertainty. He can move the stop because the loss feels too personal. He can take another trade after it fails because his ego wants to repair the feeling. So A+ is not only chart quality. A+ also means the trader is ready to accept the outcome. Ready to lose without revenge, ready to wait without forcing, and ready to follow the plan without needing the market to make him feel right. If your emotional state is poor, even a good-looking setup can become a low-quality decision. The setup may be on the screen, but the decision happens inside the trader. Many traders treat no setup like a problem. They open the chart, scan the market, and if there is nothing clean, they feel like the session was useless. But no setup is not useless. No setup is information. It tells you that the market has not given you your conditions yet. It tells you that your job is not to force action. It tells you that your capital is still protected and your discipline is still alive. The problem is that doing nothing does not feel productive. There is no excitement in no trade, no screenshot, no entry, no result, and no story. It is just waiting. But for a trader, no trade can be one of the most important decisions of the day. Every weak trade you skip protects your future focus. Every average idea you reject protects your risk. Every moment you do not force the market trains the identity of a patient trader. No trade should not feel like failure. No trade can mean your filter is working, and it means you still respect your rules more than your need for action. Consistency is not built only from the trades you take. It is also built from the trades you refuse. Professional patience is not just waiting longer. It is keeping the same standard while you wait. That is the difficult part. Anyone can say they are patient when there is nothing to do, but real patience is tested when the market gives you something close, something interesting, something tempting, something that makes you think, maybe this is enough. In that moment, the trader has to decide what matters more, the need to be active or the quality of the decision. The market will always offer noise, movement, and moments that look meaningful for a few seconds. If a trader has no standard, every movement becomes a possible trade. But if the trader has a standard, most of the market becomes background noise. That is not boring, that is protection. A clear standard protects the trader from his own impatience. It protects him from emotional entries and from turning every small reaction into a reason to risk money. This is why A-plus setups are rare. Not because the market is unfair, but because a real standard rejects most situations. And that is exactly the point. If your rules are serious, most trades should not pass through them. If everything looks good, your filter is too weak. The goal is not to take fewer trades just to feel disciplined. The goal is to take cleaner decisions. There is a difference. A trader can avoid trades from fear, and that is not discipline. But a trader can avoid trades because the setup is not worth the risk, because the mind is not clear, or because the situation is only almost good. That is discipline. Waiting longer does not mean waiting forever. It means waiting until the trade matches the standard before the result is known. After the trade wins, everything looks smart. After the trade loses, everything looks obvious. But discipline has to happen before the outcome, before the entry, before the excitement, before the regret, and before the need to be right. A-plus setups are rare because trading is not supposed to be constant action. It is supposed to be selective risk. Selective risk means many moments will pass without you doing anything. That can feel slow, but slow is not the same as weak. Sometimes, slow is the trader finally learning to protect himself from average decisions. A-plus setups are rare, and that is not a problem. That is the filter. The trader who needs constant opportunity will always feel frustrated by the market. But the trader who accepts that quality is rare, can wait without feeling like he is falling behind. He understands that almost good is not the same as good enough. He understands that waiting time does not create setup quality. He understands that his emotional state is part of the decision. And he understands that no trade can still be a professional result. The goal is not to catch everything. The goal is to protect your capital, your focus, and your ability to make the next decision clearly. So the next time the market gives you something that almost looks good, pause and ask the question that protects your discipline. Is this really A-plus, or am I just tired of waiting? Because if every trade looks good, your standard is too low. A-plus setups are rare. That is why they matter. Wait longer. Trade cleaner. If you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe to The Patient Trader.